Are you thinking of getting a second degree? I guess the reason you clicked on this video is because you haven't really made up your mind yet. Perhaps when you studied the first time, you weren't really interested in the subject, and now you want to get a second degree because you think it will help you to go after your childhood dream. Perhaps you have been working for a while and just feel stuck. Or maybe you just don't know what to do with your life. Does any of this sound like you? The decision to study again has a big impact on your life. Think of all the time, effort, and money you have to spend to pursue a second degree. Here are 3 things to consider. Number 1. What is your goal? If you are trying to get ahead in your current career or are aiming for a promotion, in some cases you are required to have a certain degree, for example a master's or PhD degree. But before you go for it, make sure if this is actually a requirement and find out how big the impact on your career progression is likely to be. This can also be the case if you are trying to change your career and want to break into a new field. While certain occupations such as doctor, pharmacist, or lawyer requires you to have a corresponding degree, for jobs in other fields such as design, journalism, there are other options. Perhaps a certificate program or a workshop will do. Then there are people who want to pursue a second degree out of pure interest and passion for learning and are just eager to research and learn more about certain subjects. They enjoy studying for the sake of acquiring knowledge itself and are excited about getting enrolled in a study program again. Some other goals may be more debatable, such as studying again simply for the degree itself and the prestige that comes with it. Before deciding whether to study again or not, it makes sense to take the time to rethink your goals and plans and then see if a second degree supports you in what you are trying to achieve. Number 2. What are your learning needs? If a degree is not an external requirement, and if your goal is simply to acquire knowledge and skills in a field, then studying at university is not the only option. Certain types of people can learn well by themselves. They can set their own deadlines and structure their own learning program. If this is you, then nowadays it is very easy to acquire knowledge and practice skills outside of university. By combining materials from books, research papers, online resources such as YouTube and online courses and tutorials, you can theoretically put together your own customized learning plan. And the more defined your learning goals are, the more efficient it will be for you to learn on your own. But many people, in order to learn well, need an external structure. They need external deadlines, guidance, and mentors to make sure that they are on track and are making progress. Also ask yourself how important a network of professors and fellow students is to you. Do you need to learn in an environment where you interact with these on a daily basis? Or can you replicate this environment by actively participating in seminars, exhibitions, and networking events? Consider also what kind of resources you need to acquire knowledge and skills in your particular field. Do you need a sophisticated lab, expensive tools and equipment, and research papers that can only be accessed if you are enrolled at a university? Or are there other options such as buying or renting tools and equipment and just getting access to the university library? Number 3. What about your finances? There are 2 things to consider when it comes to finances. How will studying and getting a second degree impact your future earning potential? Will the potential increase in earnings outweigh the cost you spend on your degree? How are you planning to finance your studies? And how will it affect your current financial situation? If you have saved up some money after working for several years, are you ready to spend a considerable amount of it on your tuition fees and living costs, or even deplete your savings? Or will you be able to cover the costs by working while studying? Does your study program and its particular schedule allow you to work enough hours? If not, is there an option to apply for a scholarship, or will you have to take up student loan? If you have trouble making up your mind, it may be because your goal is not sufficiently defined yet, you don't have a clear financial plan, or you have personal concerns that you haven't addressed yet. So before rushing into making this important decision, it is a good time to pause and really think about what you're aiming at and the best way to achieve this. The best decision will depend on your particular situation. So, what are your considerations in deciding whether to get a second degree or not? Let me know in the comments below. This was the first episode of the series on going back to study. If you want to find out more and not miss the next episode, don't forget to subscribe to this channel.